All right, it's the next day. Checking tire pressures in the tires, they're all good. And then, how often do you guys check tire pressure in your spares? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really ever do that. So, just pardon as I check here. And so, this one has 34 psi. These things have a cold psi of 50, but I never run these at max load. So I think the trailer runs better when it's in the high 30s. So that's what I like to do. I mean, it's cold now. It'll warm up as the tires warm up. They'll be in the 40s. All the tires are here are 38. There's one that's 39. All the other ones are at 38 and a half, actually, to be exact. So we're just putting the caps back on. As you can see, I got the trailer out. That was an ordeal. I did need to nudge the little trailer over to make the turn, and when I did that, or I shouldn't say when I did that, just when I touched it, like not with, you can see you got the board up in the air. It's not my problem. You can spot the problem yet? I don't know if you can see. Look at the jack. Put this down. So this is, I touched it. I tried to just muscle it over an inch or two, because this thing's very light, and it collapsed. So what we did, my dad and I did, see right here, there's 3 bolts. There's a bolt on the metal, and then there's 2 in the wood there. The jack that exact jack used to be there, but it got the tailgate would hit it as I put the tailgate down. So I recessed it back in my own redneck fashion, and it worked for 6 years. We did that in 2020. It's 2026 now. But anyhow, so that's done. These guys are moving at a slow pace over here. So I'm gonna do the same exact thing because I like having that recessed jack. This jack did bend too. It bent. Sorry guys, it's muddy as hell over here. I don't know if you probably can't see, but right on the bolt to the left, the whole thing bent. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably fine, especially because I only stored empty. But you know what I was gonna end up doing was getting a foot for this jack, so I didn't always have to use a piece of wood. Using a piece of wood is best practice anyway, but just in case if I didn't have the opportunity if I didn't have a piece of wood available. But honestly, I'm just going to replace it all. I'm going to replace the wood. I'm going to replace the jack. This thing needs a little TLC anyway. We have an intermittent turn signal issue on this one. I think it's just connections. I keep messing with the connections though, and I don't know. I did take this on a ride around the block just to get all the mud off the tires. I'm not kicking mud up at the machine on the way back, or back behind the truck as the machine's loaded up on the truck later this week. That's good. I do have to put the 2 or 4 chocks in the bed. That's really it. That's really it with the trailers. Tried to turn on my water. Water turns out fine, but the hoses that I had were all really, really frozen. So that long 100-foot one is frozen as can be. I think this one's a little better. I might try and use this one later. And there's one in my backyard that I can use. It's just under my daughter's room, and she's asleep now, so I don't want to be hosing out tubs and stuff like that and causing a crazy disturbance. This will go on the pad. This will stay here actually for maybe a week or two, just till I could see there's no snow in sight. And then before this truck goes in on the 23rd. So let me just come in here and talk to you guys. So this thing, the plan with the Super Duty is it's got a shit ton of recalls, and it kind of always just gets, I don't want to say neglected, like I keep on top of all the maintenance when it comes to oil changes, tires, everything. But I think we're going to do a couple of different things this year. Number one, the tires. I always switch from snows to all seasons, all terrains, whatever. It kind of came on it. That tire that came on it sucks. It's just, you have them. And tires are expensive, so you use them. They're getting pretty worn out now. So I have one more season left on them. I could use them. These snows are great. Now, number one rule is when you have snows, you take them off in like April when the weather starts to get warm. There's so much tread left on these things, and they're 5 years old. So I'm just going to run them this year. We don't do too many miles on the truck. And then I'll run them through next winter and then the following spring. So like a year from now, I think what I'm going to do is put like either a KO3 on them or some kind of like 3-peak rated all-terrain tire that I could go in and out of the quarries and that kind of stuff and not worry about, something like that, dirt track, something along those lines. So I've run dirt tracks before. I've run KO2s. Haven't tried the KO3 tire. I know there's the Falcon has the Wild Peaks AT3 or AT4s now. There's all kinds of, there's 100 of the, not 100, but there's a bunch of different options for this truck that I'll consider. But I'll consider that next year. I think I'm gonna use out these tires while I can. Not great in the mud, but honestly, I'm not in the mud too often. So Thursday, my plan is Thursday to take this thing to Deer. Some point I got to take this thing to Skag. I think this year I'm changing it up. I've done my maintenance on these things in the past, but I want the dealers to look at them this year. I'm going away the week of Easter. I'll be in Florida. That's what we're going to talk about. So real quick, I contacted actually walked in and talked to my Ford dealer. I'm like, look, truck's got a bunch of recalls on it. I want to take care of them before my big season starts. I'm like, listen, the trans one I know is pretty big though. I know it's a heavily involved recall, so to speak. So my plan is, let me know how long that takes. I'm going to be away. I want to drop it for the week, whatever. You guys do what you got to do with all the recalls and, then do oil, fuel filter, whatever. Just get it ready for the season. They tell me that the trans thing is so involved that it's like a week is like the absolute best case scenario that essentially never happens. And they say it could be up to a month. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, all right. So I have them tentatively getting me in there towards the end of March. I could probably see if I could move the appointment up. My thing is I made it towards the end of March because I figured the chances of snow is not likely. And they're great with me. They work with me. They're like, listen, if there's a remote chance of snow, we'll push it back, The only thing that sucks is they can't guarantee me a truck. And they definitely told me no Super Duty. That's just fine. I don't need, but an F-150 would be perfect for the spring, or at least, while this truck is down, and they kind of told me no chance. They told me chance, but slight chance. So we'll see. They told me if it's not an F-150, it's going to be like an Explorer or something, which is fine. But they probably don't want me towing with it, so I'll probably be switching out and using this one a little bit with the small trailer as long as I can get the small trailer fixed, which is now on the to-do list. But that should just be a weekend. That shouldn't be too bad. But I don't know if you guys had this trans recall done. It's like the P4 pinion in the trans, I guess, gets replaced. But then I didn't realize they also look for any kind of other parts that have either degraded or whatever. And you're basically getting either a rebuilt trans, or if it's just too much, they said Ford will just ship a brand new trans, like no questions asked. That's what their experience has been. So I have no issues with it. In the extreme cold, there's like a really weak 3-4 shift or something like. I don't know if it's 3-4. Don't quote me on the exact 2-3, 3-4s. I don't know. It's somewhere where it's weak. But to be honest, that could just be because the fluid's cold, and this truck kind of has a hard life in the winter. So I don't know if I don't know exactly what's true and what's happening, but that's kind of the plan and the run through on this truck. Before the season starts, we're already getting renewals. Unfortunately having to increase prices yet again. So prices are going to go up. Looks like we're being called upon for more landscape work too, in addition to. But before all that starts, I got to get lawns cleaned up and ready for the season. So all of my people who are due who renew, who got a fall cleanup, get a free spring cleanup. That's how I do it. So I need this trailer to be back in service so I could tow it with the car, worst case scenario. And actually, the Explorer can tow this trailer. It's really no big deal. The only thing is there's no brake controller in the Explorer, so I always find it funny when they include a 7-pin on an SUV or even a pickup truck for that matter, and then there's no brake controller. Like, how do you know what the gain is set to? Like, why do you supply a 7-pin if you don't have a way to really use it? I mean, I guess in order to tow one of these trailers, whatever. But that's here nor there. I'm gonna order this thing, order this jack, and then just start the process. Start getting this serviced. That blower has got to get serviced. While this is gone, I'd like to also look into making this thing iMatch compatible. I've got a kit that supposedly works for that. I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. But I'd like to get that iMatch compatible. Behind this rake, I got forks, or I got the guard for the forks and the 2 forks right here. I'd like to, when this thing comes back, try the forks out on this. There's a lot of stuff even just to do around my own property. I got trees down. I got a million things to do. So you can see just trees down like here, trees down. It's it's never ending, but that is the current update. And have a great spring.